Your four favorites are Rocket Science, Baby Driver, Summer Wars, and Horns. Thumbsucker, like Rocket Science, is an indie coming-of-age film from the mid-2000s about an awkward teenage boy who participates on his high school debate team. Like Baby Driver, the protagonist has some sort of coping mechanism. In this case, it's sucking his thumb, but for Baby, it's music. Like Summer Wars, the protagonist is a little shy and struggling to find his confidence. And like Horns, the thing that makes the main character visibly different also represents his internal struggles. All About Lily Shoo Shoo is a coming-of-age film about awkward teenagers struggling to connect, like Rocket Science. Music plays a pivotal role, like in Baby Driver. Like Summer Wars, it explores how people use technology to connect with each other. And like Horns, it's about memory and identity, particularly the gap between who society thinks someone is and who they really are. Coco is a coming-of-age movie, like Rocket Science. Music is a large part of the plot, like Baby Driver. It's an animated film about family, like Summer Wars. And like Horns, it has supernatural and fantasy elements. Almost Famous is also a coming-of-age film that has a lot to do with music. And like Summer Wars, the protagonist is welcomed into an unconventional community or family of sorts. And like Horns, it involves uncovering the truth about people. A couple other coming-of-age movies involving music that I think you might enjoy are Sing Street and Dazed and Confused. The Mitchells vs. the Machines is also a coming-of-age film. It has an eclectic soundtrack featuring songs from a variety of genres like Baby Driver. It's an animated film like Summer Wars about a family trying to save the world from a technology-related disaster. And like Horns, it blends genres and uses a premise tied to sci-fi or fantasy as a way to examine a character's relationship with their loved ones. Swiss Army Man, like Rocket Science, follows an awkward young man who feels isolated. It uses music in interesting ways, like Baby Driver. And like Horns, it stars Daniel Radcliffe and uses a fantasy premise to externalize the main character's mental and emotional state. Combining those ideas of awkwardness, feeling isolated, and music, I also think you'd enjoy Frank. Since computer hacking is a part of Summer Wars and Baby Driver involves heists, I want to recommend Life Hack, which involves both hacking and heists. And because Summer Wars is about family and has to do with artificial intelligence, I think you might enjoy After Yang. Since there's a horror aspect to Horns, I want to include some films from that genre as well. And I think May might resonate with you since you seem drawn to movies with characters who are awkward or shy and either feel different or like an outsider. That's also why I want to recommend We're All Going to the World's Fair, which also explores how people connect through technology, like Summer Wars. And The Black Phone, like Horns, is based on a book by Joe Hill that involves psychic powers. Edgar Wright cited The Driver as an inspiration for Baby Driver. The director of this movie even has a cameo in Baby Driver. And the number on this prison jumpsuit in Baby Driver is a nod to the driver's release date. But another movie about a getaway driver that you didn't have marked as watched that I think you'd like is Drive. I was also surprised you didn't have Your Name or Weathering with You marked as watched since you're a fan of Summer Wars, because these movies feel sort of comparable and explore similar themes to some of your favorites. Since Summer Wars involves social networking through the virtual world of Oz, and a couple of your favorites are coming-of-age films with awkward protagonists or people who feel like outsiders, I started thinking of coming-of-age films with awkward protagonists where social media and the internet play a part in the story. So I want to recommend 8th Grade and Dee Dee. You seem drawn to stories about people who have something about them that makes them feel different. Al stutters, Baby has tinnitus, Kenji is a math genius but also very timid, and Ig has horns with special powers. And because of that, I think you'd like Edward Scissorhands. And a few more coming-of-age films that I think fit the vibe of your favorites are Rushmore, The Spectacular Now, The Way, Way Back, and Submarine.